Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. It's time for Owin's Field Report, sponsored by Les Schwab Tire Centers.
Now, like I mentioned last Sunday when we wrapped the show up, I was heading over to Idaho to go hang out with Brian and Ian from High and Dry Waders. Now, the whole point of it was to go over and do some fly fishing and highlight their new stocking foot waders, which, by the way, I would highly recommend looking into. But it didn't necessarily fall to the wayside. I was actually a little bit late. They had actually been fishing on Sunday and Monday, and they got a lot of great footage, countless really nice fish. The conditions were perfect. By the time I was there on Tuesday to fish, it was overcast, really windy and rainy, and the fish just went completely off the bite. So it was very difficult, but we were able to still get some decent fishing shots. I was able to actually remember how to fly fish the right way. It took a little bit of time, but I was actually able to get it done. And I actually caught the second largest fish of the trip at 20 inches. Unfortunately, I don't have any photos of that. It's all on big camera stuff. So I'm hoping I might be able to get a clip of it. But it turned into a planes and helicopter 3 days. And I know you're going to go, what are you talking about? If people know me very well, I don't like to fly. If I can drive within a reasonable amount of time, I'm driving. Now, the last time I was over in Sun Valley, Idaho, a couple of years ago to hunt ducks, I drove, okay? Somehow Brian talked me into flying, and after 2 airplanes, I get off the airplane, and all of a sudden, he wants to put me into a third one for that particular day, although it was a lot smaller. After that, a day or so later, doing some fishing in between, somehow a helicopter became part of the week trip, which was insane, by the way. All of it was a ton of fun. This is just a quick little clip of some of the videos that I was able to take, either it be in the Cessna or that's actually us in that plane, and that's at our camp. They actually took some video as we flew by. Super cool to be able to see that kind of country out of a plane and really just get up to 12,500 feet. That's actually where we were staying with the folks from Drift. Beautiful. I mean, if you're interested in fishing world-class rainbow trout, just reach out. Then, of course, all of a sudden it was, how do we help the landowners in a helicopter? Well, I'll leave some of that to your imagination, as we're only allowed to show so much. But, yeah, give me a Benelli. Calving and lambing season is in the midst currently, and anything we can do to help the landowners, I'm all in. Jumping into a helicopter, certainly not on the front of my list of things to do, but I was absolutely not going to pass up that kind of an opportunity. And as you can see, it was nothing but smiles. I can guarantee you it was one of the funnest things that I've ever done, and I look forward to going back and helping Tom, the landowner, with several hundred thousands of acres, and that's the crew representing Arkansas, Virginia, Idaho, and of course, Oregon. A ton of fun. I can't thank Brian and Ian enough for showing us all a great time, getting a lot of work done, and then just having a ton of fun. It was absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to show you some of the footage as it comes into us later on. But let's go ahead and show you some of the fish counts that we've got currently. A bit interesting. Ryan actually added in on the Bonneville numbers, shad, because that's starting to ramp up. 98.25, not that impressive. If you were to take a look at the 10-year average, it's not horrible at the very least, but with the conditions that we have now, the water temperature cooling down a little bit, and with all this rain that we have, I think it was far enough north that you're not going to see the Willamette really change all that much. Some of the tributaries, of course, could be a little interesting, something that you might want to pay a little attention to. Taking a look at Bonneville Dam, shad, as you can see on the far right there, are now starting to ramp up, and that's going to get pretty crazy here in a short period of time. But you can see the numbers for Chinook going over Bonneville, absolutely normal. You start seeing this time of year where it'll start to scale down into that 2,000 to 3,000 range for hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Several questions already. Is this going to stay open through the 22nd? For all intents and purposes, yeah, it absolutely should stay open all the way through the 22nd. Say that again, Ryan, I'm sorry. Then, if you're going to start chasing shad around, the shad fishing right now is picking up. We've got several photos already that's been coming in, and I think that's just going to get better and better and better as we go forward. Now, turbidity again on the Willamette, nothing to really pay attention to. I wouldn't expect this rain that we had to change that, like I just mentioned. It is possible that you see a little bit of change there from some of the tributaries, but I wouldn't be too concerned with that. But in the end, don't forget, if you want to win something fun, something free, you can send Jason an email over there at Procure, and he'll get you dialed in with a prize pack. It's jason@procure.com. And yeah, it's a good time to grab yourself some free stuff. And there's a couple of kokanee derbies that are going on currently, or going to be happening here, excuse me. Kokanee Power's got one going on. This is at Crescent, June 21st, then Odell, August 9th. These are super popular derbies if you have that chance to get in there. Kokanee fishing has been really good, at least some of the reports that we've been getting, so make sure you pay attention to that. Oh, I jumped ahead, didn't I, bud? River levels, let's take a look at that as well before I get too far. The Willamette, as you can see, not forecasted to make a huge bounce by the end of the week, but you can see a little bit of a change there. Everything has dropped. The Columbia at Bonneville, which controls everything, has dropped tremendously, which has changed the Columbia. And you might start seeing, I haven't gotten this report since I've been back, but we might have some current starting to show back up in the Willamette. This is the time of year where it can make that transition. So if Lake Willamette goes away, that's a darn good thing all the way around, from the top to the bottom. And it could get fish to start making their migration over the falls, which is a double-edged sword, right? You'd like to see the fish stay below where we can target them, but they are ultimately going to start making their move. But it has dropped down 3 or 4 feet, so you can tell that, yeah, it's possible. I haven't gotten any reports on that, but I would assume, based on those levels, that you're starting to see a little bit of current in the Willamette, which is a darn good thing, and it'll help keep that temperature down as well. So hopefully this week, probably spend a little time on both of them just because I want to be easy. All right, this upcoming segment, we've got Dale Murph. He's the owner of Claminator. We're going to get a live report from Dale. He's over on the Oregon coast chasing clams around. I guess you don't really chase them. You just try to find them. But we'll find out how it's going for Dale and what you might expect if you were to head that way before the next closure, which sounds like it might be quite a ways out. We'll be back with that in just a couple of minutes.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by P-Line, because we fish, by Hawken Fishing, perfection in fishing gear, and by Haxton's Canvas and Upholstery, the trusted name of the Pacific Northwest.